A dumbass. Troler, the not-so-friendly ghost. My second, much higher quality troll level. How bad was the first one? Oh, and then Peter Griffin. You know, that always makes me nervous. That immediately sets me off like, oh, uh-oh. Yeah, actually, we had one yesterday. We had a really terrible one. Somebody dropped in who also had a Peter Griffin. Me. Yeah, I mean, everybody starts somewhere. But yeah, I can't recommend enough. Sometimes I get upset and I have harsh feedback to offer. I cannot recommend enough that you pull up that guide and read it. Read that. It is incredibly helpful at understanding everything that goes into a troll level. Making a troll level, especially if you're kind of ironing it out or learning or at the beginning. That Discord is full of people who can also help and offer feedback. It's the Bandwagon Discord and Troll Library Discord. It's a great place full of people who also can help with troll levels, help with setups, share tons of great information, just generally a great community for that kind of thing. And additionally, one of the best things you can do is play troll levels or watch people play through troll levels while paying attention to what works and what does not. Like looking for actual feedback in how they're experiencing the level, where their frustration is, what they're really enjoying. Okay. Okay, good. And I wanted to get all that out first, because sometimes the beginning of a troll level is so goddamn bad that you know, I'm mean, and then people don't come back. Okay. It looked like it came out of the blaster, and I kept wondering how that worked, but it just falls down. Pretty funny. Oh, okay. Okay. I won't go up by the arrow then. Guess I will go up by the arrow. Oh. Okay. Don't softlock the player. Even if, oh, it's at the beginning so you can just restart, still don't softlock the player. You can put a spike up there. You can put a thwomp up at the high up at the tower so the player climbs up and then the thwomp doesn't move and then they have to jump into the thwomp, something like that. Oh, are you not gonna die this time, Blaster? You're just gonna get in my way if I don't stand in the right spot? Okay, that's a choice. Am I softlocked again? Don't softlock the player twice in the first room, please. Oh yeah, we're definitely not touching it right away. Yeah, we're not touching it and getting off of it right away. I guess I can try to get close to it after the fish. Yeah, this is a lot more precision than I want to see. Oh, no, another one comes. Soundcry thing is janky. Yeah, you definitely don't want the first thing the player experiences to be really janky, because the first thing that happened was kind of funny. It was block out of nowhere that looked like it came out of the blaster. But now we know how to go forward and we can't get back there at all, and that's a horrible position to be in. You have to go left. I don't know how it works. Yeah, you should know how it works in your own level. Oh. There we go. You don't need a super high density thing necessarily in the first room either. Like, if something's not working, you could just drop it. Or like in this example here, let's where's my scribbler? You need the clown car in this position. That's a clown car. Got a face. It's kind of like what a clown car looks like. For it to work, it looks like. So just block it off. Like, block it off at the point where it needs to stop. Use a one-way to lock it in position. Like, do something that sets it up so that it is consistent. Make sure it's consistent, even if it costs you the troll of, I guess it turns into a wall if you go left too early or something. Yeah, you are in charge of making sure that that it works. Okay. I guess I just didn't go fast enough? I can definitely still go in this door. Maybe. Nope. Nope, door's placed over a semi-solid. Yeah, less is definitely more in the first room. I don't think it's way too much, but you definitely don't want to have something really inconsistent, because that's going to set a really bad tone. Wow. Don't soft-log the player. Don't soft. You could literally could have put a goddamn fireball up there, or we could move left and right if you want to be a dickhead, which you do if you're starting with slider. Put a ghost in there, and then we have to really carefully walk the ghost back and forth because we only have slightly more than one tile. I would bitch about that too, but that's better than a soft log. So is this timing? Yeah, that's just a timer. Okay. I feel like you don't need slider here, even though like the joke is there. Because the first thing the player's going to do every time, no matter what, they might wait for a second, and after they wait for a second, they're going to jump. They're probably not going to wait until that that thing starts coming down in most cases. But slider, if anything, is more likely to make me wait for longer than anything else. To figure out what the joke is here, to stop and stare and be like, well, what are you doing? Okay. We learned some stuff, kinda. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely set it off that way. I think that works with the Kaizo block. But if not, there are other ways to have the music start at that point, too. Were you trying to power-up check me there? Because I can squeeze right through all that shit. So is this probably cheese, right? Well, yeah, this has gotta be cheese, because now I can kill him. Yeah, so I'm guessing you didn't want me to make it out of there with this? Can't die there. But I'm not sure what you didn't want me to make it out of there with. Like, if I'm... Well, let's see. Yeah, you probably expect me to lose the spike shelmet on the spikes there. But I think you want to force the player through a saw blade. There's a lot of things you can do to set up the specific power-up state that the player is in, but make sure that you are in control, that you are in charge of it. Yeah, I'm guessing you wanted to do this. But then I don't know if I'm supposed to squeeze through here with this, or if you want to, if this was meant to power up to push me down. If you wanted to make sure that I was pushed down before I go through. But if that's your goal, you can control for that pretty easily with just making sure the player can't slide through the next thing with a power up. I think the most common thing is I wish I just had a picture of it ready to go. Throat type of thing here, where you're like, you do like this. You want at least 3 blocks of height, and then like that. And then as long as it's at least 3 blocks tall here, the player cannot slip off and slide under with a mushroom. They will be required to make sure they damage down here before they proceed. Heard a weird sound effect. Now I think it was a cat. Oh. I do not know what the sound was I just heard. Oh. Okay. Fire flower. So this is you telling me you want me to keep the fire flower. I did not pay attention to before. Good work in the hole. Why? Well, at least this kills me. I'd rather die than be soft locked. And if you're gonna kill the player, finding dumb shit to do on top of just killing the player is generally entertaining. You don't have to take it right to an ante. I don't think an ante before the checkpoint makes sense, but I also don't think an ante literally at the first checkpoint really makes a lot of sense either. But people can't stop doing it. Yeah, I mean, I cannot turn it off. Okay, so you must have wanted me to ditch this one here. I think you were intending for that to be required, but then to slip through like I did for, with the fire flower. Yeah, I think you can do that with the saw blade. I think you can force the player through a saw blade to make sure they drop the one. I feel like a lot of people will try and see if they can get out of it with the power-up just to see if it breaks. But I guess we get the hint that we're supposed to keep it right after anyway. Oh, esports. Yeah, starting over instead of choosing to die is what some people will do. I will even do that sometimes. But even with that being the case, I still think that you should kill the player because, one, if I have to do start over too many times, if that is the tone the level sets, I will accidentally start over after I grab the checkpoint, and I will be furious. So avoiding that, making death look easy or simple or fast, is really helpful. Muncher there also. Pretty sure I can get through here with a mushroom. Let's see how well guarded that is. Yeah, we can definitely scoot through there with a mushroom. Which, now I'm not sure if you want me to do that or not. So now I especially want to keep trying. Oh, uh-oh. I think that's going to be a soft lock in there, isn't it? Unless it hurts me. Good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to hang on to that. Hey. No, it does make sense, yeah. Yeah, not only, like, there's good arguments to be made about it just not looking good or just feeling, low quality or amateurish, that it feels bad to force the player to do that instead of just letting them die. Of you feeding them a death, but also that's an opportunity for you to create a death for the player. That can be more interesting than a spike. It can just be a spike, too. You don't have to turn every death into a whole thing. But I absolutely hate getting trained to do start over, because it'll make me impatient, and I will autopilot start over after the checkpoint and then be really mad, especially if the level is relatively long and dense. Remember that for when you play my level. Uh-oh. Remember what? Only to have the icicle hidden. Okay. You can also hide an icicle behind a blaster. I think you could even still make that work with the POW. I think you could even still present it to the player. Yeah, as a POW they can pick up. You can shoot a POW, but I know you can hide an icicle behind a blaster. That works pretty well. Hide an icicle. I think you can hide an icicle behind a clown car. There are a couple of things you can hide an icicle behind. That Discord, you ask, you will be flooded with people's good answers for what to hide one behind. But yeah, people are going to keep one if they can. It feels intentional for there to be two. But you could also just hide part of it behind a blaster. It'd be awkward if I had to slip through like a one-tile gap, but you could hide it behind a blaster and a POW that we have to pick up. Oh yeah, but I guess if you do that, then the player's never going to run into it. Yeah. Usually the setup that people go with for that kind of thing is that the icicle triggers something when you're under it, or it hits you when you think you're supposed to hit a block or something. It hits a block the wrong way, that kind of thing. Okay, we probably are supposed to take damage here, not cheese a mushroom through. And then this guy is going to do this. Oh, no, he's not. Okay. Oh, that's going to send it. Okay, that's what sent it. For some reason, I thought he was going to kick it, and that was going to do something. Claw grabs the fireball down there. And then this is going to be, I feel like expecting the player to know they can kick the Koopa shell into that to flip it and get through it without taking damage might be beyond the expectation of something that everybody should know, but I feel like most people would know. But it's right on the edge of, like, maybe you can't expect every player to know that. That's a really stupid death. That was good. There definitely shouldn't be... There shouldn't be soft locks at all. But, like, there extremely shouldn't be any intentional soft locks after the checkpoint. Like, that's from, like, you're making a bad stylistic choice to you are making the wrong choice. Well, dumb. Really dumb things are funny. But that's the good kind of dumb. It's like really, really stupid trolls where the player stands there. That's one of the things that I think I tend to really focus on is that the best trolls are setups where the player makes the wrong choice and immediately knows they made the wrong choice. I went on there and I wondered where it was going to go and I waited until it hurt me. And that was the wrong choice. But I made the choice to stand there and just let it happen to me. Ow. Ow. Maybe I should just use that thing over. That's right there. We might actually... Probably could go around there. Really awkwardly. Clown car doing up there? Oh, this friggin' wait it's gonna grind my gears the longer we go. First checkpoint. I think a really good, like, general guideline for the stretch to the first checkpoint is that if you're doing everything correctly in the level, it should take about 30 to 60 seconds, like, max to get there. I can keep that. I don't know what's in him, but probably doesn't matter. So this we need, that we need for the switch to flip. Let me get up here. I don't even know why I made it. Well, then remove it. And we have a 50-50 on the... Yeah. Oh, does this take some time? Insult, criticize, current level. I mean, we've been doing it. Yeah, we've been doing it. Don't softlock players so much. I think we covered that, but that's the main one so far. He won't get back in there? Yeah, I guess it's offset and he just won't get back in there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we all, well, yeah, it's just to kind of trick the player into kicking it the wrong way and then thinking, oh, I should have kicked it into that. But I feel like some people will be like, well, I can't kick it into that, it'll hurt me. I don't know if people generally know that for certain, but I would definitely pay attention to that when other people play it. Does everybody instinctively know they can kick a shell against the wall and not take damage, that there's a second before it's active? I don't know if they do. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't really have a sense of purpose. Some of the But if you know something feels like bullshit or feels pointless, you can either look at like, well, how can I use this some other way? Does this set up some conditioning for the player where they will expect the middle block then to be bad next time, and then actually they needed it this time? I don't know if that's a great troll, but it's something. It's better than just that. And then we just won't get it out next time. But yeah, not everything has to be a troll. Not everything has to be deadly. You can set up a lot of anxiety and a lot of weird expectations on the player's side on what I am expecting to have happen by not doing anything to me. By just having it be 5 blocks, then I jump on them and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then the next time you set up 5 blocks, I'm terrified and I have no idea why you're doing it again. Or what's going to be different now, and then I'm going to stare at it for 10 seconds, which you can punish me for, or you can make something else hit the blocks and then have every single one of them have big chain chomps and they get sprung right into the player or something like that. Like you can do something. You can do something with this. Thank you. Accidental down input. Okay. Feel pretty called out. That was where I wanted to go. That was where I was gonna check. Now I know it's probably blocking off something I need to get down there for. Yeah, that's probably what that was. I was probably trying to block something off in the lower right-hand corner. Next pro level I make, I'm gonna immediately give it to you, then make a version 2 base in your feedback. And I will be here. I yell at stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some Wednesdays. Some Wednesdays are gonna be Super Mario World. And then some Tuesdays will be Super Mario World after we do newer levels for a while. Esports. Oh yeah, I think we can kill that with this too, can't we? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can kind of invalidate a lot of those trolls just by having this Shelmet too. Okay, get rid of that. You made all these a long time ago and only just now uploaded. I'm supposed to remember that? Did you tell me that before? Because I don't remember that. Sometimes my memory is not great. Some have said. Some have noticed. Yeah, we are, I plod a little bit. I know I go slow. But we're 2 minutes here, so I really hope the checkpoint is close. Okay, yeah, that's closing off the pipe to the right. Door to the right. We can probably get back in here. Yeah. Fish. Okay. Yeah, I really hope the checkpoint is through that door. But the easy way to measure it is when you're playing through the level and you're going fast because you know everything's there, the right place for a checkpoint is like maxed out right around 60 seconds. That's an appropriate density generally to hit, you know, that 30 to 40 minute mark for people playing through a level, which I think is the high end of acceptable for playing through a troll level. And I tend to be a little bit slower. We better go kill that. Oopsie. I guess we can still get through there. Yeah. Yeah, actually, we can kind of invalidate almost every troll here. Oh, I want to hit the ice first. Really would have thought they would bounce on top of the muncher. Nope, we're not getting back through there that way. That's good. All this wait. All this wait. Yeah, also don't make players wait for P-switches. Find something for them to do if a P-switch must be finished before something. That kind of thing. It's so annoying to just have to stand there for 15 seconds because a P-switch needs to finish before you can move forward. Alternatively, rather than finding another way to hide the icicle, just make the player need a second POW right away on something else. Like, have them carry it forward to remove a muncher or similar. If that's what works the best to cover them up there. But I also feel like with the two POWs, you're never going to run into the icicle because you're going to grab one, and the other one should prevent you from moving forward, right? Oops. Oh, man. I forgot to end my exercise, so now it says I was biking for 4 hours. No, it's not going to count it. I can't have it count 4 hours of me sitting. There are some faster ways to have a bomb blow up too. I think if you just put a actually, oh no, you want to fire there, I guess, as a troll. But if you put if you have the bomb come out with a block moving back and forth, that'll just crush him and explode him really fast. That kind of thing. There's definitely a setup you could find that would let you blow him up faster. Set all that off, which also gives that that Koopa Troopa shell a better chance of flying into the player and hitting him. Okay, so just hold right, I guess? Yeah, I don't love having to hold right to beat the muncher there, that I don't have an opportunity to sit and think. Because it also means we're probably not going to check the left. Door here. Really? Oh, no? Yes? Yeah, okay. That's so weird. What is the point of that? Oh, there we go. That's the point of it. There's a muncher there if you try to jump back up right there. Okay. There is a troll there. I don't feel like it's necessary. Like, I feel like you kind of covered it, but okay. I don't know exactly how people learn the right way to do it, but there's a lot more comedy generally in predicting exactly where the player's going to be and slapping them there. And then that feels a lot more, it feels more clever, and it's more entertaining to see than to just, every time I jump, every time a thing happens, there's a Muncher there. There's a Kaizo block there. And we're not painting the whole world in them. It's not every single pit, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're never actually gonna accidentally run into the icicle there. I feel like even covering the icicle, it still kind of comes off as, well, why? If the player takes this out of here, they could make a real mess with it. They can definitely soft lock themselves again. Yeah. I'm just gonna die immediately. Yeah, it's almost 3 minutes. No. 4:12 was it? I think it was 4:12 making our way there. Yeah, 4:12. So about 90 seconds, about a minute and a half. Yeah, a little earlier would be nice. Not the end of the world. Yeah, you could kill the Muncher. Blocks you from the pipe with that second POW. Yeah. Yeah, we could definitely use it to break something. If we killed that turtle shell, if we threw it in there while we were waiting for the Bob-omb, I think we'd just be flat locked out, because we'd kill the Bob-omb too, wouldn't we? So then the switch wouldn't flip and we wouldn't have the shell. I think we'd just be dead in the water. Yeah. Because especially when it's just like, oh, you tried the wrong slot in 2 slots. That is less of you predicting what I'm gonna do and you putting a Muncher esports in the only place I'm gonna jump. That's just sad low-hanging fruit. That's what that is. There it is. Knew it was coming. You want broken track? Oh, tell people to download if you're doing broken track stuff. I'm not teleporting through that. Ooh. Oof. Great. Great. It's also going to be a speed bump. It's not the worst speed bump, but it isn't a good troll, and... okay. I'm sorry, you did a broken track set up to push me into a hole right next to there. That's so stupid. That is so wasteful. That's not a good enough troll to risk your Nintendo account over. Oh, but yeah, Nintendo is still actively taking action against people for using things like broken tracks. I don't think you shouldn't use them, but do coordinated upload, especially if you're delivering it to people like on Twitch, is send them the level code and then pull it down after they download it. Tell people to download it, that kind of thing. But yeah, I also feel like that's a lot for such a silly little troll, which is honestly pretty funny in that it's such a silly use for a broken track, but it's so like visible. There are ways you can hide that too. Hide the broken track there. I think if you just put some stuff, you could pile on. Yeah, actually, hang on. If over here to the left, you had a bunch of tracks, you could make a suspicious looking thing here. Bunch of tracks that have some stuff on them, that then comes over and dumps out onto this track. They all dump right onto there. So then you have, say, a bunch of bouncers or whatever covering up the edge of this track because there's so many on here that it covers it up, and then it looks really suspicious, and then the player may freeze the second they get on here to see what happens rather than jump on it and jump right off of it. which most people playing at troll level, I feel like, are going to recognize a broken track and what it's going to do. But I do feel like if you put in the effort to hide the broken track, and then the only thing it does, especially if the whole level stands pretty well on its own, that setting up something like that is really, really like throwing it away for a really silly joke, which is funny. I don't know how to make better broken track trolls. Yeah, I mean, hiding it is a good start. Hiding it and then doing that is a good start. You can do a lot with your ability to, like, teleport the player or move the player incredibly quickly. So it's just finding something funny to do with that. You're just gonna be over there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of munchers. A lot of munchers in blocks. Actually, if you're gonna throw it away, you should be able to predict the exact position the player will be in with the onion skin after the teleport. So let's say the teleport goes from here, the player is right here, to like exactly this point. Have just that point be a spike. Have that specific point be a spike. So then the player is immediately like, well, wait, what's in the hole? And then they go in the hole next one and they die and are just like, well, I'm an idiot. But yeah, I feel like that could be pretty funny. Because then you're kind of leaning into throwing it away on a really silly, really, really quick death instead of setting up more with it. And then you're hiding it also. Yeah, hiding it and doing something like that I feel like would be kind of funny. Yep. I missed last time? Oh, that starts moving, right? And I think we do want to go this way. This criticism. I mean, it's fine. You know, most people's first and second troll levels are all Timmy, end to end. There it is. Thanks. That camera scrolly thing there. Meme. Meme. Is that fireball? Okay, there we go. I was gonna be pretty upset if it was a soft lock. Put a conveyor down there to walk the player into the little thing there. So they get pushed into it, maybe? Oops. I'm gonna do that a lot of times. Yeah, this isn't like the tragic Timmy garbage that, like, is absolutely hopeless. You have a... Especially if you aren't looking at... Like, if you're getting all of your troll ideas from watching, like, Carl or something, and not any direct engagement in the community, but, like, from watching somebody play trolls, and then you were like, oh, I want to make trolls? You know, doing pretty good for that. Get onto it right away. Rain stopped. Yeah, it's not as catastrophic as, like, something where I have to move right away and I have to not, like, do a specific thing immediately coming out. Like, don't hold right or absolutely hold right is one of those things that feels really bad coming out of a checkpoint. But something really prone to forgetting like that is going to end up feeling bad. That's a fucking silly setup. Yeah, one thing I can't offer good feedback on is my memory is very shit. I don't know what exactly is wrong with me, but I don't know. Bad, lazy, short-term memory. Always been a problem. I take a lot of notes professionally, but outside of that, I tend to just forget stuff. One of my regulars will bring me levels I played like 6 months or a year back, and I will have no recollection whatsoever half the time. So I won't recognize plagiarism, and I do know some people get pretty mad if you lift like a setup block for block from them. Oops, did it again. Yeah, I feel like this would be funnier if you get that fireball to fall exactly on this spot, and then you just trap the player at the bottom of a tube rather than having to walk into here. It's very minor, but I feel like you have more... Like, I feel like it's a little funnier than that. Like, you definitely get the concept of, like, a little extra makes it better than me just falling in a pit and dying. That putting something on top of me falling in a pit and dying, well, now we're gonna do a silly thing first before you die, can add comedy, can make a setup, like, work better, or be just generally funnier. Can also end up feeling punishing if we forget and fall into it over and over again. And get more annoying the longer the level is. But at least there's a clock right there, which we will maybe remember. That's where it is. Or we'll catch it when we're trying to jump up the way that we're doing there. So now, is this just... Is it a hold for a big jump, or do I just... I think I skip it and I go up here, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. That was anticipating me holding jump and bouncing up, I guess, and getting pushed in there. Which is pretty funny. Oh, God. Yeah, not every little point of advancement needs a muncher. That doesn't feel like I made the wrong decision and then something bad happened to me, that I'm being punished for my decision. That feels like something is happening to me, and then I have to learn that happens, and then I can proceed. Oh. Why do you have a Ren Fair headpiece? You bought it? Okay. How much was it? That was $40?
It's handmade.
How do you know it's handmade? I don't know. There are machines that stitch stuff now. There are machines that do that now. That's been a thing I've been seeing, is that people are getting so much like mass-produced crap on Etsy that people are now like looking for actual handmade earmarks, like things that tell you it's handmade, because there's so many things that are just handmade. No, it doesn't. Find the listings. Nice. Find the listing, and I will find you the AliExpress seller who sells them. Now back to me yelling at Mario. Okay, muncher. Wow. Cover this bread, I guess. Probably another muncher. And then that'll block the pipe when we go through there. It's mean to just lie to the player with a hint in a level where we already need the hint, so I hope there isn't a coin block there, but I'm not going to check right now. There's the mushroom. There's the next checkpoint. Thank God. Let's go back and check. Oh, we can go up there. Shit, are we going to get soft-locked if we go up there? We might get soft-locked if we go up there. I guess we can still get the muncher out if there is anything. Yeah, there is one. Okay. We can get the muncher out and die here. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like just a hint that's a lie isn't a troll. It's a lie. Oh, I left scribbles all over the screen. Look at me. Get out of there. I forgot to make the overlay less annoying, which is good for troll levels, so I did it. Now I'm transparent. Okay. 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 I like that both of them are viable. I feel like the core of like a 50-50-90 is catching the player making a bad choice here, whereas this just feels like a 50-50. The spring did feel smarter. Oh, and then we need the mushroom, sure. The spring did feel smarter, but I feel like the best possible thing is you figuring out a way where me having anything in my hands ruins it, and I'm supposed to pick up neither, that I'm supposed to skip them both. Yeah, no, it looks like that is correct, but I forgot the mushroom. I forgot the mushroom. I hate myself. Isn't it? Oh, do we need the muncher for the door? We need the muncher for the door. Okay, yeah, no, actually, is that what we're doing? Well, then what are we doing here? Well, that's the opposite of what we want. That's the exact opposite of what we want. Okay. Oh, are we throwing it early? Okay. I wish the mushroom was to the left of the checkpoint. It's not the end of the world, but so chuck it early so the wave doesn't catch the other one. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right. Some people might just do that, but no, that that covers the spread there. Yeah, and you probably won't notice the muncher until you do it wrong again. Really expecting a muncher under that door, so I'm glad there wasn't. Is this, right? That's a weird hint. Bomb. Spicier bomb. E and a block. Oh, does something bad happen to me if I go in there? So I'm supposed to hit from over here? I guess we'll do what we're supposed to do. One of the things that you can do in a ghost house level specifically to help, we'll cover it when we come back here. But I won't be harping that aesthetics really matter much at all. It's always nice. But they don't really matter in a troll level. And if anything, they can be distracting if you focus too hard on it. On pretty aesthetics, they can be distracting or they can get in the way of how you're setting up trolls. But in ghost houses in particular, oops, get them. Give me a sec. Oh, actually, we can see it here. These don't look exactly the same as hard blocks, but if you break up the tiles a little bit with something else, and we have more of these, it can make obvious hard block setups like that not stick out as much and not like stick out like a sore thumb a little bit. If there are more chunks that are breaking up these blocks a little bit on the edges. I forgot the mushroom again. Oh my god. So in ghost houses in particular, studding the actual walls, the ground tiles with hard blocks will give you more solid blocks like this, just the solid square tiles, as well as more hard blocks in general, and will make will help those types of solutions not stick out as much. But in a room where we're using a bomb to get through, people might still be like, oh, I can bomb the wall there. Now let's try what it looks like is correct here. I'm guessing there's going to be a Kaizo block in the hole. Yep. And then we're going to get the key from the side with an invisible block there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if the player goes back in that pipe and then jumps straight up, I think that's definitely a soft lock. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that was my immediate thought was, oh, I should go see what that is. Yeah, there's, in that Discord that's linked in that chat command from up there, the troll one, I can pull it up again too if you need it. There is a playtesting request queue where I will pull stuff out of if it's slow. and end up doing that today. Well, we've been working on Boom Boom World. Then there's a troll library for once levels are finished and high quality to submit to. Were you just telling me to blow this block up? And then there's a key above it, maybe? Okay, I think you can make that hint clear. Yeah, I think you can make that hint a little bit clearer. By literally just illustrating exactly that. By, like, literally taking a snapshot of that. Of that exact block setup and just putting a key at the top of it. Maybe even a key with a block on top of it and people will get it there. Oh, if at all possible, once the player goes in here, and it'd be complicated, but you can detect a Kaizo block getting hit. You could just have it set something up before you kill the player. But something that, when I hit the block in here, that ends up opening this up one way or the other, would help show the player, like, that's what's next. They should notice. They should... I feel like most people will almost immediately notice it, and if they don't, will think that it's next. I would also be concerned about somebody not... I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's no way not to notice. I refuse to play with that. Oh. Oh, oh. I really wanted to just make it in there and not get teleported. That's the thing. Doesn't matter. I lost it. Okay. What are we doing here? Aww. Yeah. I don't think a CP1 is inherently bad. But when a CP1 is just an, like, obligate punishment, like, I want to do something to the player, and I have hot takes on anti-soft locks. In general, I don't like an anti-soft lock. I really don't think a skill check makes sense when one of the guiding lights is that it shouldn't be that difficult to level once you know what the trolls are, that you should be able to just breeze through it. I think that's important, and anti-soft locks fight that concept at their core, and are really stupid. But you can fix that with a mercy mechanic, and an anti-soft lock that is legitimately entertaining, and isn't a super high skill check can be a fun experience, blah, 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 blah. There's shades of gray there. Same thing with a checkpoint 1, is that you can do funny CP1, especially if you're creating like a really high tension setup for the player, where they know that's hanging over them, like they can see a CP1 is in the cards kind of thing. You can do things with it. Or fake CP1 that's a CP3, or a CP1 that's designed to subvert player expectation in some way. But a CP1 that is just punitive, that, like, we missed the jump, or we didn't predict the thing correctly, and now we get CP1 dumb. Not only is it overdone, but I don't feel like it really brings a troll to anything, because all you're doing is, like, the only transaction there is I am losing my time because I did not do something correctly or predict correctly. And especially when there's no way, when it's not even a choice, when it's a difficult jump, or, like a 50-50 where I can't make a prediction. Like, I can do this and get off of there. But, again, we know how broken tracks work, so this should be... Like, if you want to set something up at the end that leads into a anti or some type of CP1 or that kind of thing, we want to have it riff off of a previous experience, and maybe this time we want to ride the blue shell, the blue coaster, because that's the immediate thought there in a better level would be like, well, wait, we saw this exact setup before, and this time they're not covering up the broken track when it was hidden last time, so maybe I'm supposed to ride it, but maybe I'm not supposed to ride it, and you know, you can have fun with that, with getting in the player's head that way. But something more than just broken track and then got him. Aww. I thought I would just, like, make it. You don't fall into a 2-tile hole that way? Ugh. I thought it would just fall into the 2-tile hole. Can I jump off this? Can I do like a little really weird P thing here to just cheat? Oh, good. If we hold left there, we can die. Does seem like the second half is significantly shorter too, which is good. We spent a pretty good deal of time on this, but not like a crazy amount, which is good. That can often be a pain point, I would say, for people who are early in making troll levels and want to keep doing it, is absurdly high density. But it does feel like there's a lot more in the first bit that you could move the checkpoints around a little bit. God, so then we actually do have to do this, like, really awkward little re-grabby jump? Oh. Yeah, it's an awkward jump. Maybe it's just a runoff. I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult to do, so it's probably just a runoff, but definitely don't do a skill check at the end that leads into a CPU1. That's fucking horrible. That's just a rough goddamn thing. In general, a skill check in a troll level doesn't work. You really can't mix Kaizo and troll level real effectively. One madman did. And somehow made a pretty decent level out of it. That was crazy. I wish I remembered level code for that level. Yeah, maybe it's just runoff? Nope, it's not runoff either. Really is just a skill jump at the end here. Yikes. Oh, good. And I found a soft lock trying to go back in the pipe, which, you know, there isn't a good reason for me to need to do this. But here I am, having done it. I don't need to hit the goal. Jump from the very back block. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it also shouldn't require you to, like, solve a jumping puzzle to get through at the end. Yeah, I'm excited to see, where that, winds up at the end. There's a better level there that you can scratch out of it. One clear. Poor guy. Yeah. Yeah, the last thing like that really puts bad taste in your mouth. Having a really awkward jump at the end really just... What's the opposite of sticking the landing? Like, if you fall over at the end and then shit your pants? That's a pants shit right at the end. You know, like a 5. It is a tepid 5. A medium temperatured 5. It's especially for, like, being very early on, your second troll level, but probably your first actual troll level that isn't like Timmy Trash after somebody yelled at you for Timmy Trash, I'm guessing. There are some bones of some... Log. Got a slur in your name. Can you play the level I just uploaded? Absolutely. There are the bones of, OK troll level in there. No need to download. Gotcha.